What is driving today's tech M&A market? Mega deals, big players, big balance sheets, big acquisitions. This sets the tone for all levels of tech M&A. We're entering what may be the new golden era for technology acquisitions. And it starts with a simple reality. The largest technology companies in the world can no longer rely solely on organic growth. Technology moves too fast. Markets shift too quickly. AI is creating instant competitors overnight. And when you're measured in trillions of dollars, maintaining growth becomes a must. So what do? You acquire. A recent example. Just weeks after their IPO in June, the largest in history, SpaceX announced its intent to acquire Anysphere, a developer of the AI coding platform Cursor, for a $60 billion all-stock deal. Here's a little history lesson. Back in 2000, at the peak of the dot-com era, Microsoft was the largest technology company in the world. Its market capitalization reached roughly $600 billion, an astonishing number at the time and enough to make it the most valuable company on the planet. Fast forward to today, NVIDIA has crossed approximately $5 trillion in market value. Alphabet and Apple are each above $4 trillion. And 8 other tech and tech-adjacent companies are over $1 trillion in market cap. Think about that for a moment. NVIDIA alone is more than 8 times larger than Microsoft's peak valuation during the dot-com boom. Combined market cap is 9 times what it was in 2000, a gain of $23 trillion. Looking at cash, there is 10 times more. That's $600 billion more ready to deploy on acquisitions. Never before have technology companies controlled this much value, this much stock currency, and this much cash. The question becomes, what are they going to do with it? They're going to buy growth. They're going to buy innovation. They're going to buy market position. They're going to buy strategic advantage. On Microsoft's website, the company reports 234 acquisitions just since 1994. Google reports 264 acquisitions since 1999. Most public companies are just a collection of acquisitions. A large acquisition by one company rarely remains an isolated event. It forces competitors to react. The result is a chain reaction across the industry. And that's exactly why mega deals matter. They reshape markets, they redefine competitive landscapes, and they create opportunities throughout the entire M&A ecosystem. Last month, we reported $164.6 billion in mega deals in the first half of 2026. Today, there are more billion-dollar-plus transactions, more strategic buyers, more private equity capital, and more acquisition currency than at any point in history. Indeed, at Corum, we're tracking 19,000 buyers, 10 times more than during the dot-com boom. The giants aren't going to sit on trillions in unused value. They're going to deploy it. For technology CEOs, founders, and shareholders, this creates an important reality. The companies building strategic technologies today are operating in an environment where the world's largest buyers are actively searching for their next growth engine. Now you can't forget the biggest buyers, private equity firms. PEs have one job, spend the money, and they have more money than ever that they must deploy, trillions, not billions. On the supply side, there are a record number of buyers, and on the sell side, we have what we talked about in last month's Tech M&A Monthly, a succession crisis, a generation of founders and business owners that must exit because they don't have someone to pass the business to. That combination, unprecedented buyer capital and a buoyant market meeting an unprecedented wave of founders ready to sell, is exactly why we remain optimistic about the tech M&A market. There's never been a better time to sell. Technology is so pervasive with whole new classes, with waves of new companies globally. Half of Corum transactions are cross-border and in all corners of the globe. At Corum, we've completed more transactions than anyone. We started in North America and Europe and have invested in expansion in Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, and South America. Today, we have the foundation for a new golden age of acquisition. If you're wondering where you fit in this market, now is the time to have that conversation. Reach out to Corum Group for a confidential consultation.